Hey everybody, GameHounds podcast. We are talking how we don't have an audio feed. Still don't have an audio feed because I did some math and it did not end up looking pretty good. It will cost me more to host this show, given we have 624 episodes. It will cost me more to host this show on Spreaker than it will be for me to pay my property taxes. And yeah, I do have very low property taxes, but still, it's a lot of money. It's well into four figures a year. So, given that don't really want to spend four figures a year doing this show, and hosting it with Spreaker, we will be transferring our audio show off of Spreaker. So, just causing a little bit of problem. I have to download 600 episodes off Spreaker, switch them over to another service, and then figure out a workaround. So I think I've got my workaround that is going to cost me $300 a year instead of many thousands. So, how are you, Nick? How's things?
Good.
Yeah, good week. I don't have a lot of news, and we don't have an audio show, so we don't have to do like the intro to the show like we normally do, the cold intro. But you got I'm
I
assuming
didn't bring a lot of news, but Blood Reaper in the Discord.
thank God for the Discord. If you're not in our Discord, please do. If there's anything you ever want us to talk about on the show, we will happily talk about it. All you have to do is throw it into the Discord. And the cat says, "You will not be podcasting now. You will be loving me."
Mm-hmm.
That is Shepherd.
The
Shepherd
funny
the
thing
Wonder
is,
Cat.
whenever I sit in this chair, he does this. He does this when I'm working too. he wants to he crawls up and then kind of plops over, assuming that I'm going to catch him, that I'm going to stop typing and catch him.
That's trust. He does. What was it? What do they call that? A faith
trust
fall?
fall?
Trust fall. That's
Yeah.
it. He trust falls into your lap. So, I got, nothing new, interesting. It is a holiday weekend, which is good. Have I used it as productively as I should have? No, I have not. Other than getting myself hilariously drunk on Friday night.
Oh yeah, like for any
Yeah.
special occasion.
Yeah, a little bit of a special occasion. So I got myself very, very, very anesthetized. And then watched a bunch of K-drama and then just some really throwaway YouTube feeds until the wee hours of the morning.
What?
I was actually looking to find some good gaming streams, and man, I could not find any that weren't just unwatchable. I mean, I really put some effort into Twitch to looking for stuff, and there's just a lot of bad shows out there.
Yeah.
And they're all got like thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are listening. It's like, I don't understand this at all.
There's like different levels of Twitch streamers. The guys that do it all the time, I've never been able to get into that. But the people like Nextlander and Waypoint and
but they're not doing it at 2:00 in the morning when I'm drunk.
But the thing is, like, all of the streams are still archived on Twitch. And so you can go and watch anything.
I just wanted to see new. Yeah, the overnight shows pretty much from 11 p.m. on. It is a wasteland. And I don't understand.
I was like, okay, if you want to watch a good like drunk stream.
Yeah.
Anyone playing the Dark Pictures anthology, I think, is really good. I know the Nextlander guys have streamed the whole game, the newest one called House of Ashes, and the Waypoint crew is like almost to the end. I was
Mhm.
watching their thing the other day. I was watching the Waypoint crew play through House of Ashes of the most recent Dog Pictures anthology game, and it's great because each of them takes on different roles of the characters. Uh, these games are like Until Dawn, like Little Hope and Man of Medan. They're
Mhm.
these very elaborately produced choose your own adventure horror games. And so players take on a role of a character, you kind of pass the controller back and forth and you make decisions. And this one is about a military group that kind of falls into a hole and starts encountering weird creatures in the dark.
Mhm.
And so you make a decision, like right now on this video. A woman is hanging off the edge and she's going to drag a guy in. You have a choice. Do you cut the rope? What are you going to do? Are you going to cut the rope to let her fall? What do you do? And it's funny watching like people argue and shout like, do this, don't let her go. Because like in this specific scene too, these two people used to be married, and you can play up their relationship in the past as, oh, they both want to rekindle the romance, or
Mhm.
maybe just one of them wants to rekindle the romance. What do you do? How does that affect your
Oh.
decision? And so the Waypoint crew, as they were playing it, they had played it where the guy wanted to rekindle the romance, but she didn't. And so then when it comes time to make this decision of, does he cut the rope? They're like, no, of course he's not going to cut the rope. He's still in love with her. He's not going to do it. And so that led to a very different outcome than what we see in the video. So
Interesting.
they're definitely they make like a great drunk cast for that reason, where it's a lot of watching people argue, shout, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen? You gotta do this! How did you miss that? Oh shit, a creature just attacked this guy. Is he dead? I don't know if he's dead. What's going on?"
We may need to have to play this
Oh,
together
I would absolutely play
tonight.
this with you.
Tonight. Drinking. Tonight.
Okay, sure.
I've
Do you want
just
to
gotten over the hangover from Friday, so I think it's time for a new hangover.
hang on? I know Game Pass Dog Pictures. I think some of the Dog Pictures anthology is on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It looks like Man of Medan. Is Man of Medan on Game Pass? Shoot, how can I just find this really easy? Is Dog Pictures on Game Pass? It looks like Man of Medan and Little Hope is on there, but the most recent one that we were just watching is not, which is makes sense. It just came out.
Bitter says I gotta check the Stoner and Feet Pics channels. No, I do not. I was drunk, but I wasn't that drunk.
Oh wait, never mind. Here's another news story that says the Dog Pictures anthology just left Game Pass.
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot.
December 15th. It looks like.
You can still buy it though, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I will totally buy that if we wanna
Yeah.
play it together tonight
Yeah,
while
I'll
drinking.
buy.
I got some Mac Gully. I
I-
got some soju. I don't have any beer, but I do have
Okay.
wine.
I
Mac
think
Gully, it's another Korean alcoholic drink.
okay.
Comes in 2-liter bottles,
Okay.
although I only
Yeah.
have a 1-liter bottle.
Just let
It
me
is
know which
it's like
platform you want to play
rice
on.
mixed with beer. It's like a rice
What?
milk and beer. It's a brewed beverage made with rice, uh, water, and it's like slightly sour, slightly creamy, very light fizz, like very like not beer fizzy, more like really good champagne fizzy, and that it's very small bubbles. So it's but yeah, it's what apparently old people drink by the cupful in 2-liter bottles. So I have myself 1 liter of it that always fascinated by and tried it. It's like, I could see it. It kind of grows on you. I could see it definitely. Like the first time you taste it, you're like, "Ooh, that's weird." And the second drink, you're like, eh. And then you put it away and you think, I could really drink some more of that.
It sticks in your mind and it doesn't go
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. It's definitely has that addictive taste to it where you're like, it's like it's not American conventionally delicious,
Hmm.
but it's got that certain something where it's like, I could have some of that. So, yeah, let's do that tonight.
Okay. Yeah, let me know what platform and I'll just like buy the trilogy.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't
Cuz yeah,
know.
I think by now since all 3 games are out, you can buy it in a pack.
Okay. And that'd be great because then I could just sit back and scream at you.
Oh, yeah,
Which is
absolutely.
a great night for it because I have no downstairs neighbor going to bed early tonight because he's out until tomorrow. So because of the holiday. Perfect. So what you been playing?
Whoa. I've not been playing it, but I did end up buying Far Cry 6 because I just so happened to see it on Amazon, the
Mhm.
disc for $20.
Ooh.
And I thought,
That went down fast.
yeah. So I thought, oh, I can
That does
swing
not
20
bode well.
bucks.
Yeah.
So I actually have the first game disc I bought since getting the PS5.
Oh, it's a disc.
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
disc.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
Uh,
I've got that waiting for me. But in terms of what I've actually been playing,
mhm.
um, I know we we tried again to get into Warframe last Sunday and came away even more frustrated than before. Uh, uh, so the thing is,
That was the session for me to lose my temper at this thing.
mhm. So like that game has all these quests in it, which seems like a nice thing because it gives you some structure of how to go into the game. But it seemed like the quest line we kept trying to play was single player only because
Mhm.
like we would go into this area, get the quest, and then when we leave like this hub to enter this open world area, I would always get booted out and it would say you need to complete this quest to go here. And I thought, well,
Mhm.
that's the exact quest I'm playing. Do
Right.
I need do I need to finish the quest line before I can join you in helping you finish the quest line?
Which
Eh,
seems counterintuitive that you wouldn't have 2 people doing a quest line together
yeah.
if they both need it.
And so we ended up playing like both of us I think eventually beat the quest, but we just went through it on our own. And that I still think that game is at its best when you're just booking it through a level, cutting down anything in your way really quickly.
Yep.
But the moment it starts to like up the difficulty and try to provide you with a challenge, it just kind of gets frustrating because I kept running into issues where I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I'm surrounded by enemies, but I'm just sliding over the place, cutting them down with the sword, sliding around, and then in a instant, my shield goes from full to 0. And then
Mhm.
I start losing health because they're hitting me with these pot shots. And I I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was an enemy attack, if it was like a mine, if it was an environment thing. I just don't know.
Yeah.
And that's really frustrating. Like the game doesn't do a good job with its enemies of um telegraphing like what's going to happen because
Mhm.
you're always surrounded by things. And so if one guy is going to do one attack that eliminates my shields, it's like, well, I'm invincible to 99% of attacks except for this one that will render me very vulnerable and then I die.
Mhm. Right.
And it just goes
Um,
from 100 to 0 so fast.
Yeah, and I thank God, but thank you, Bitters. You were there for me to backseat drive me. So because I was doing this, was it Plains of Eidolon? Something. I can't
Yeah,
remember a
yeah,
particular area. And I had to get this mission done in order to get what to get the hoverboard. And there was a mission you have to do, and it's timed. You have to break into a thing to sneak in, which I couldn't sneak in. I'm terrible at sneaking. Um, and then you have to solve to unlock a console, which you have to go through this, like changing, moving the tiles around. And I am terrible at that, moving the tiles around. It's counterintuitive to me. And I literally got within a microsecond multiple times of completing it, but it's such a short period of time to complete it, and it locks you out. And meanwhile, they see me, they're bearing down on me and trying to destroy me. And of course, I die over and over. And of course, I have to start it all over. Then I have to go through the dialogue again to get the quest, which is not escapable. And it's got that stupid fucking song from whatever the name of that town is. Oh,
no,
oh God, I was so pissed. And then thank God for Bitters, who showed me how to make a little thing that I could override and just override it and use it to override, which I did. And it was it. Thank you. Pax Solaris. Yes. Um, yeah. It says eventually you can buy resources to hack for you like OmniGel. Yeah, I forget what you had me build, but it allowed me to hack it for me. And I was able to get it done. But man, I was pissed. Pissed. So yeah, it's Warframe. It still doesn't spark. I didn't play any games this week. I had lots of time sitting on the couch, and I watched YouTube videos instead of playing Warframe. That says it right there. So, Cipher, that's what it is. Thank you for that's the name of the thing I had to build. But yeah, I built a cipher, a couple of ciphers, and worked great, and it was fantastic. And I enjoy playing it with you. But I mean, if I'm gonna play something, I would rather. There's other games that I think I would rather do. Not saying that Warframe is a bad game. I think that it's an amazing game considering it's free to play. I mean, within that context, it's phenomenal. But I don't see myself getting together on Saturday nights for my Warframe crew anytime
yeah,
soon.
yeah.
So what else do you play?
I played a fairly good chunk of Forza Horizon 5. I think I
Okay.
played a little bit of it a couple weeks ago, and I kind of jumped back into it. And this is kind of the big racing game Microsoft put out last year. It's free on Game Pass, which because it's a Microsoft first party, which is nice, and it's a Forza game. Uh, I know last time I talked about Forza Horizon 4 and said that it was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And I still think this game is a lot of fun. It's very well made. It's really beautiful. The open world
All Forzas are
is
beautiful. That's kind of their
yeah.
trademark.
The open world is nice. It's kind of just fun to drive across the landscape and smash through a lot of trees and bushes and everything.
Mhm.
But there is there's no fast travel at the very beginning that I can tell. And I even had to look up how to get fast travel. And apparently I have to beat some story mission first. But even then, I have to have like 2 million credits saved up to buy a house. And I don't have that. So it's very frustrating to play a race and then kind of always have to drive to the next race, which is something I've always hated about open world racing games is I'm looking around for what to do, and I think, oh, I want to do this race down here in the south. Well, it's going to take me a couple minutes to just drive there. Then I have to drive to do the actual event, and it's just a lot of getting from point A to point B. Like a lot of I'm driving to a race and then I'm actually racing. And then I've got to drive to another race again. And at a certain point, that just starts to get irritating. Even if the driving is fun, even if the world is good to look at a certain point, I just want to race. Like, I come to a racing game to race, not to drive around and explore this area. I want to be against people.
Mhm.
So that's irritating. And then the difficulty in unlocking fast travel and being able to jump around the map just exacerbated all of that. So I jumped into the settings to mess around with things. And what's always neat about Forza Horizon is that with the settings, you can turn off and on a whole bunch of assists to give you either a racing sim level of control of the car or a much more arcadey control of the car. You could do it so that you have to really, really focus on like the dirt versus concrete, wet concrete versus grass, like all these different textures of the road affect how the car handles. Or you can turn on a bunch of assists that take care of the braking, that take care of the steering, so that all
That's
you
kinda nice.
really have to do is just like feather the accelerator and the game takes care of most of the rest.
Oh, that's a little too much.
Yeah. But like
Too
there's
too much hand-holding.
there's everything in between of that,
Oh,
right?
good. Yeah.
Which is nice. But as I was playing it and as I was fiddling with all these assists, I realized that even at its most arcadey and its most simple, the game still has the bones of a sim, like at its core. It's built to be a sim, but then has all these assists that help make it more accessible because I'm still going into turns and slowing down to make a tight turn, right?
Mhm.
I'm not drifting around this corner at 60 miles an hour like a crazy person in Fast and Furious. I'm
Mhm.
still going up to a curve, slowing down, taking it. That is made easier or harder depending on the assists, but that philosophy of slow down is still in like the DNA of this game.
Mhm.
So I was like, I don't want to hit the brake. I nah, fuck brakes. Brakes are disgusting.
Fuck brakes.
So
That's the name of the show right there. I'm changing officially naming the show. I'm editing all of the show now, to the name of the show to be there we go. We're changing the names as we speak. So go ahead. Fuck
So,
brakes.
with that in mind, I thought, God, I wish I could play a Burnout game. And then I realized the Xbox is backwards compatible. What can I find? And so I downloaded Burnout Revenge on the Xbox backwards compatibility because
Mhm.
it recognized that I owned the game. And I played a bunch of Burnout Revenge. And holy shit, you know what game still holds up?
Mm.
Burnout Revenge.
Is it really?
It's a little sad because it's definitely a game from several generations ago. Like, it's a little blurry. It's not that it looks bad. It's just like there's Vaseline has been wiped across the screen and everything just looks a little blurry. It's not that 4K crispness that you get from modern games. Um, but I was playing a bunch of Burnout Revenge and man, from the get-go, the first like thing that you play in that game is a mode where you want to just ram all the cars in front of you. Like, you have a timer that's got 20 seconds and it's going to tick down. But every time you ram a car in front of you, you get a little bit extra time. And so you just start boosting, ramming into cars in front of you. And like, at first I started playing weaving in and out of traffic because I'm like, oh, I gotta avoid these cars. And then my time ran out, and I thought, wait, why did I get bronze and lose so bad? Oh, that's right. This is a game that wants me to be a psychopath. This is the game
Mhm.
that wants me to just drive like a maniac. And so I got in there, started ramming into people, boosting into traffic, like into people behind, and like scoring gold medals on these various tracks and realizing this is what I want. This sense of speed, the sense of chaos, the just when you get into like a line of cars and you boost through them and they just explode around you and flying up in the air, it's so satisfying. And what's great is
Yep.
you gun this and you
Yep.
boost into a corner and like you hit the brake button, but you don't slow down. The brake just puts you into a drift. And so you can drift around these 90-degree corners at 90 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And the challenge then becomes, okay, I'm going to hit this brake and start the drift. I'm going to turn on a dime practically. So I'm not trying to like hit the brakes before I enter the turn. It's about timing that 90-degree drift at the last second so that you really make it around the corner. Because if you do it too soon, you'll just hit the wall before the turn because it turns that sharp. So it's like learning the routes.
The sweet spot and the routes.
Yeah,
The
like
sweet spot,
okay,
that particular moment you need to start that drift.
yeah, it's like watching the wall, and then saying, okay, do it now, and then you take that turn and you slide out, you come out the other end, you boost, and you're still going 90 miles an hour, and it's so satisfying. And what's also great, there is no open world. It's just a whole bunch of courses. So the moment one is finished, I'm put back into a menu and I just hit A, and I'm back into another race in seconds. And yeah, it's just very, very satisfying to play an old school arcade racer that understood, just the fun of it, that it's not supposed to be realistic in any conceivable way. It's about the speed and the chaos. And Forza, even at its best, like even at its most arcadey, is just made with a different philosophy in mind. It's not about insane speed. It's not about the chaos of the race. It's about racing well.
Mm-hmm. Well, one is a realistic racer and one is a completely unrealistic racer.
Yeah.
One is, let's see. One is Sniper. The other one is Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Where you're just dressing weird and shooting stuff up.
And so I was tempted for a moment to buy down Burnout Paradise, the HD remake of it, because hey, it's an HD remake.
But you hated down Burnout Paradise. Burnout Revenge and Burnout Paradise, very different games.
Yeah, because Paradise is the
It tries to
open
be a
world
realistic,
game.
Right? Tries to be a realistic racer. More
No,
realistic.
Burnout Paradise doesn't try to be realistic. It's still a Burnout game, but it has the open world structure,
Right?
which is what held me back. And I need to double check to see if that's available on Game Pass. Because I would like to play.
You hated it though. You hated that game.
No, I didn't hate Burnout Paradise.
I thought you did. Yeah, let me check the chat room. Don't you remember Nick multiple times saying how much he disliked Burnout Paradise because it was that open world that didn't like it?
I mean, yes, and the open world bothers me, but I want to play an HD Burnout. I want to play
This is like one of those people who like
games.
have the spoiled milk in the refrigerator and taste it and go, "Ugh, that's disgusting." And then like it just sits in the refrigerator and you come back like, 3 weeks later and like, was it really that spoiled? And has to taste it again to make sure. Yeah, I really didn't like that.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I want to taste. Oh no, did I freeze?
Yeah, you froze. There you go. You're back.
Okay. Yeah, I want to play an HD Burnout. I want this style of game with modern graphics, and I
would absolutely be right there.
One way or another, I want to try to find that. And if it means buying a bad game, then hey, I'll try that out. I'll test it out.
Yeah, Burnout Takedown, one of my favorite games of all time, and just it's amazing to me that developers have not followed that back up of just trying to annihilate your friends. There was,
yeah,
I want to say BlackRock Studios did a racing game that we played for a little while that had that same kind of thing where you were essentially trying to sabotage each other as you were racing.
Was that Split Second?
split second.
Yeah, well, you
Yes, it was.
earned stuff and you could destroy the environment ahead of you.
In fact, I think somewhere here I have a photo of me taken at the split second booth. I know I've seen it just recently at the split second booth at PAX. You keep talking. Yeah, but split second was definitely that game.
When did it come out? Okay, that was on 360. That should be backwards compatible too.
Yeah, it was, but it wasn't that great a game. It was all right. I mean, it was good for a night or two, and that was about it. It definitely didn't have a lot of staying power. Did I throw it out? I can't believe I threw that out. I have a bunch of other crap that I kept, including baby photos. Baby photos. Yeah, I'll show you the baby photos. There you go.
Ooh, it is on backwards compatible.
There's the baby photo of the Edith.
Is that you in the middle?
That is me. Little toe-headed kid. That was really cute. So I can't find that split second photo. It's around here somewhere. Every once in a while I come across it and it makes me laugh, and then I put it somewhere safe, and then I lose it and then find it again later. Anyway, so what else did you play? Anything interesting?
That was it. Well, I guess there's a word game, viral word game that's taken the internet by storm.
Oh, what was it? Wordle?
Yep.
Oh God. Okay, convince me on this Wordle thing.
Okay, Wordle is genuinely good. Let me see, because we can play.
How is it spelled?
Wordle. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm gonna turn on dark mode because dark mode is always better.
Okay, we're playing Wordle.
So you basically start with what's a 5-letter word? Any 5-letter word.
Bleak.
BLEAK. So then basically the yellow, you choose a word, you put it in. If the letter appears yellow, that means it's in the correct word, but not in the same location. If it's green, then you've got it right, and that word is in that location. And
so you know that A is right, but there's an L in the next word, but it's not. It's somewhere, but not in the second space.
Yeah, and so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chances to guess the word.
Got it.
And so now it's like, okay, what's one?
Well, see, all I can think is cream.
Okay, so I usually say, like, I know A is in there, but I'm gonna guess something else
with an L in it, because we want to see if we can find the location.
Well, I just want to get letters. I want to get letters and vowels.
None.
So okay, so now
smash.
SMASH. Okay, so we know S, we know A. So imagine the cues that, like, that's the puzzle is
SQUAT.
SQ. Okay, SQ. Oh, it's not U because U we know is not in there.
Oh, okay. So all right, yeah. So S something something A something. Anybody got a guess?
SO, maybe SO.
Well, I'm thinking about the last two, the phoneme, and so it's ATAL.
Yeah, it could be. We know there's an L in there, so it could be AL. What about SQ? Oh no, it's not U. But
it's not you.
Oh, how do you spell squall?
I think that's how, isn't it? SQUAL.
Oh,
Guess it
it's not on
doesn't
the
have
word
that.
list.
It's on the word list. All right.
So this is Wordle, and it's the thing is it only lets you play once a day, and it tracks your statistics. Like,
Got
this
it.
is how many you've played, this is your win percentage, your streak, all that. And so it becomes like you get invested in of like, oh, it's a new day, I got a new word, I got to keep my streak going, I got to guess it, I got to get this right. And so it's become like the way I start my workday is trying to
Doing your
guess.
daily Wordle.
Yeah, exactly.
The New York Times has something like that, where you are given a bunch of letters that are a discrete amount of letters, and then one letter is a must to have in it, and then you need to get as many words as you can out of it, and you are given it's no time limit or anything like that, but they know how many words can be created, and then everybody's trying to get the most amount of words, and best to get what they call queen bee, where you get all of them. And the when I was staying over at my cousin's for New Year's, they everybody there played it every single day. It was like it was a daily thing that they would work on it. I'm trying to figure out what the name of it is. New York Times word guess game. It is called not GeoGuessr. I can't remember I don't remember the name of it, but it was like it's essentially Wordle for really smart people. And it was just once a day, and every day they'd have a new one, and some days were easier than others. And they would all talk to each other like, "Oh, I remember that one time 2 weeks ago. It was I've only gotten queen bee once, but I got it 2 weeks ago." And they're like, "Oh yeah, I played that one. It was totally easy that day." So that they get to talking to each other about it. Very curious what older, retired, smart people do in their days. So, anything else you played?
That's it.
Well, that's a lot. All right, so let's hit. Wait for it. Let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds news. The news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Edie and Nick DiNicola. And our first item is Squall has 2 L's.
Yeah, I'm still playing it. It's S blank blank AR.
It's not square.
SQU. No, it's squares too many letters.
Yeah, Squire IR. That's IRE. Anyway.
Yeah, it's my last choice. It's the last thing too.
Oh, you're so addicted to it.
Yes.
Oh no. So, our first item is because Nick is distracted. Valve, Steam set another concurrent user record, if you can believe it. They exceeded 28 million concurrent users on January 9th, which was what day of the week was that? That was on that was last Sunday. So last Sunday, while we were on the show, apparently everybody else was playing something on Steam. Yeah, they had 28,230,661. Didn't get it, huh, Nick?
I didn't. It ended up being Solar.
Oh,
SOLAR.
there you go. Yeah, Steam has seen really strong growth over the last couple of years, partially due to just the growth of the platform naturally exacerbated by the pandemic. Way more people at home not doing their work.
We're all playing Wordle on Steam.
All playing Wordle on Steam. So yeah, it was the last time that the record that last Sunday beat was set in January. So they are hitting repeatedly Yeah, it is a repeatedly um uh, uh record over record over record, one after another. So
Yeah, I
here is a, let me grab the
I think what's most surprising about that is that it seems Steam's user base just keeps growing.
right.
Uh, because like they're all PC players, and
Mhm.
for the longest time, I think even now, there's a sense of like it goes consoles, PC, and like the PC is not the lesser platform, but there's just not as many players there.
Mhm.
Um,
So yeah, in
but with this,
January
there is.
2019 there were 17.6 million concurrent. January 2020, 18.3 million concurrent. January 2021, 25.4 million concurrent. And finally, January 2022, 28.2 million concurrent. So huge, huge jump between January 2020 and January 2021, which is the difference between pre pandemic or pre shutdown and post shutdown.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
And I want to know what's a concurrent from uh for the consoles.
That's a good question. I would not know that. I don't know that they've actually said, but I will tell you what games were being played during that record.
Okay.
There are your top games, current player count for that day. Counter Strike, of course, top by a lot, followed by Dota 2, also a lot. PUBG, still very, very strong, followed by Apex Legends. Although, if you look at the difference between third place and second place, you will see that it's almost double. It is more than double, actually.
Yeah, yeah, that's a steep drop from Dota to PUBG,
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
and then everything else is kind of
Yeah,
relatively
yeah,
similar.
yep. Followed by Grand Theft Auto, Rust, Naraka Blade Point, Ark Survival Evolved, New World, and Football Manager 2022.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's a lot of people playing.
So I did find something from VG247,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's from January of this year. No, January of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and basically last year, it seemed like the monthly active users for Steam was 120 million, which beat PlayStation active monthly users of 102 and Xbox's 90 million monthly active users. So, knowing that from then to now, Steam has only gone up.
Right. And will
That's
probably continue.
impressive.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of when you're looking at the difference between I'm looking at, I'll pull up the numbers so that you can see it, the difference. When you're looking at the difference between 18 and 25 million players, you are seeing a bunch of new people coming into the market.
Yeah.
Because that's not just general gamer growth. That is all new people who have never used Steam before coming on and starting to use Steam because they were stuck in lockdown and wanted to do something. Somebody said,
I'll
"Hey,
bet
play a game with me."
I'll bet it helps that Steam is on any PC. You don't have to go out and spend $500 to get it, and it's a free service, so you don't have to spend $60 a month to be able to play online.
Yep, that is the power of free right
Mm,
there, especially when everybody was hurting for money. The
yeah.
power of free is strong. So yeah, that was my first bit of news for today. Steam has yet to go public.
Yeah,
And probably never will because it doesn't need to.
honestly, I'm glad Valve hasn't done that, because if they do, it would radically change how that company works.
Hmm. Yeah, EC rests the title of his article. Steam sets another record right on schedule. So yeah. Um And there's the 2021 record. Steam 26 million concurrent users. So yeah, and the question is that when we go back to whatever the new normal is post COVID, because there will be a normal post COVID. We don't know when that's going to happen, but when it does happen and we start opening up offices that are closed now, that are inclined to go back to in person offices, how much that's going to drop. Or is it? It may not, just because they've introduced all of these new people to Steam that have never used it before. Because that's the only thing that can account for that big a jump between, 2020 and 2021 pandemic.
Yeah.
All right. So next item.
This is just more of a kind of a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
So last month, the YouTube asshole Logan Paul made a big splash by spending $3.5 million on a pack of Pokemon cards.
Right.
And this was supposedly not just a pack, but a box, like a big old box of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were supposed to be sealed and authenticated first edition Pokemon cards. It turns out they're not exactly that. It turns out when he opened the box, there's a bunch of G.I. Joe figures inside. And he basically got scammed for $3.5 million. Which, for someone like him, I feel like that's just a fun bit of comeuppance.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Don't feel bad at the lost money.
No.
Kudos to the scammer.
Yeah. Good for you. Yeah, I think I read about that. That was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago that he bought it, and then it was just recently that he actually opened it and realized that it's fake.
It's fake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're fake Pokemon cards for a fake celebrity. I said it. I will stand by it. Logan Paul can fight me. I'm low to the ground and have a great center of gravity.
Because he will fight you. He's made a.
I just turtle over like a pill bug. I just hit my back. That's fine. Go ahead.
You're the Homer Simpson of boxing. You
I
fight
am.
like him.
Don't.
Just take hits until your opponent tires out, and then just push him over.
Yeah. So, my next item is, let me find it. Sony reveals the most downloaded PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 games on PSN for 2021. And shouldn't really come as a surprise. Actually, it is sort of a surprise. Only in that Modern Warfare, no Call of Duty anything is in the top slot at all. So that's the first time in 3 years that it has not been, because in 2020 it was called Black Ops Cold War was number 1, and Modern Warfare was number 1 in 2019. But in 2022 or 2021, I mean reported in 2022, the top 5 are in US and Canada: NBA 2K22, Call of Duty Vanguard, so it was in second place, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Madden 22, Ratchet and Clank A Rift Apart, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, number 6, number 7, MLB The Show, number 8, Resident Evil Village, and number 9, Far Cry.
Oh, I'm surprised Far Cry got up there.
Yeah.
There's a reason they keep cranking those things out, I guess.
Yeah, and it was slightly different in the EU. They instead of it being NBA 2K22, it was FIFA 22, of course. Call of Duty Vanguard was the same. FIFA 21 was number 3 instead of Spider-Man Miles Morales. In the EU, Spider-Man Miles Morales was number 4. Battlefield 2042 is number 5 in the UK for 2021.
Oh, and in the US.
It was not in the US. It was in the EU.
Yeah, it is. I was looking. I'm looking at the site.
For
AC
PlayStation
Racing page.
5,
Yeah, PS5.
Battlefield 2042 was where? I don't
Uh,
see it on
fifth
my list.
place.
Fifth was
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank for the US and Canada.
Oh, on my site that says 6.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, I went to the site that AC Wraith linked to.
Yeah. Um uh
It just goes to show a lot of people downloaded that and were disappointed. But
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I'm surprised. I shouldn't be surprised, but I am at how many sport games are on there.
Mhm.
Like I think for a while there, I thought that the sport games stopped selling the way they did, but no, like they are
No.
still major
Yeah.
uh sellers. Like
On my
NBA,
list, it was
Madden,
NBA,
MLB.
Madden, MLB, and yeah, and in UK, it's FIFA, both 21 and 22, and that was it. There's no other sports games.
Yeah, it is funny that in the EU it's just FIFA, but in US we've got you in the EU it's only soccer. In the US we've got basketball, football, and baseball.
Right. Um so yeah, continuing on, at least on my list, the EU number 6 is Among Us. Number 7, Kena Bridge of Spirits. Number 8, Far Cry 6. Number 9, It Takes Two. And number 10 was Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Hmm.
Now, PlayStation 4, obviously very different. I'll just go over those very quickly. Just the top 3. PlayStation 4 in US and Canada, the top 3 were Grand Theft Auto 5, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and Minecraft. In Europe, it was FIFA 22, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Minecraft. And for VR games, PlayStation VR games specifically, obviously. US and Canada was Beat Saber, Job Simulator, and Super Hot VR. In the Europe, it was Beat Saber, Job Simulator, and Super Hot VR.
The one thing we can agree on.
And free to play for both PS4 and PS5, top games were. Anybody want to guess what number 1 is both in Europe and US and Canada?
I was looking at the list.
It's Fortnite. Of course it is.
Hmm.
So Fortnite, Call of Duty War in the US, Call of Duty Warzone, Rocket League, Spillgate, Apex Legends, Genshin Impact, Destiny 2, Rec Room, Brawlhalla, and Rogue Company. Nowhere on anybody's list is Warframe. Just saying.
You just want to stick that knife in.
Yes, I do. I absolutely do. So yeah. Good list. I mean, it's fine. It makes me realize how little I have in common with the vast majority of gamers. To
Yeah,
see
well,
what that list is.
I think it just goes to show that, like, especially in the US, sports games and shooters are still like run the show.
Yeah, I'm looking at the PlayStation 5 games for 2021. I mean, I've had a PlayStation 5 since almost as soon as it came out. Have I played? No, I have not played a single one of those games.
Oh, really?
Not even one. NBA 2K22, Call of Duty Vanguard. I won't play a Call of Duty game. Miles Morales. I have the disc. I think I actually might have sold the disc.
Oh,
It came
that's
with it, and I
fun.
didn't play it. Madden, obviously, no. Ratchet and Clank, no. Don't like Ratchet and Clank games. Call of Duty,
Evil.
no. Won't play Call of Duty games. MLB, no. Don't like baseball games. Resident Evil Village, I might have played it, but I'm not a big fan of horror games, even though you really liked it.
Uh-huh.
Far Cry 6, I probably would have, but Ubisoft. You know, it's like sexual harassment, sexual harassment. Meh. Sexual harassment, sexual harassment, sexual harassment. I don't like platformers. Sexual harassment. Yeah, it says that at least in 2021, no one gave a crap about. Granted, we didn't have Ubisoft. We knew in 2021, Activision Doesn't matter how they treat their people. Doesn't matter how they
I
abuse
mean,
their people. Doesn't matter how
Vanguard
many vaginas they show at their Christmas party. Nobody gives a shit.
Vanguard did fall to second place.
Yeah. But I
That's
think it's more because
something.
neither one of the Call of Duty games are all that great. I mean, they're not getting great reviews.
Yeah, Vanguard was not it didn't have quite the same
Yep.
hype to it as the previous ones.
Yep. So yeah, that's my item. Yours.
The Xbox One is now
AC
no
Ray
longer
says, shout out
being
to Donna before she murders Edie. Are you talking about Donna, the former Ubisoft girl? Yeah, yeah. Donna, yeah.
The Xbox One is dead. The Xbox One, Microsoft has officially ended production on the Xbox One S. And that's the last of the Xbox One version consoles that was in production. And so basically, they are no longer making Xbox One consoles. That's not to be confused with the Xbox Series consoles, which is their current generation of
Right.
things.
They're
And,
making
it,
the hell out of those.
and especially since the Xbox One S is priced about the same as like the Xbox Ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the Xbox Series S is kind of taking that place, and
Yep.
Microsoft's pumping them out, but the One series of consoles is now out of production.
But you know what isn't out of production?
The PlayStation
The
4.
PlayStation 4. In fact, word came out this week. According to a new report from Jason Schreier at Bloomberg, Sony has told its assembly partners late last year that it's going to continue making more PlayStation 4s until the end of 2022. Why, you ask? Because they can't make PlayStation 5s fast enough.
Yeah.
And they're afraid that people might abandon the platform for an Xbox.
It's so funny to see those two completely different approaches with Microsoft. Yeah, nope, we're done with that old generation. We're moving to the next one, and Sony is it's like, no, we can't keep up with demand for 5, so just make more 4s.
Yeah. And, I'm not sure which is the better choice to do. I mean,
In Xbox's case, I fully support them discontinuing the One because the newer consoles are completely backwards compatible. So it's not like you're losing anything.
right.
In Sony's case, you kind of are. There's a number of PS4 games. Well, I guess PS4, you can play PS4 games on PS5.
Right, but you can't get a PS5. And
Yes,
so
and that's much harder to
it's
do.
two very different philosophies of addressing the shortage of the supply. In Xbox, Microsoft just wants to pump out as many Xbox Ones as possible. Sony did a very tactical decision. I don't know which decision was made. Actually, probably both made concurrently, and they knew that they were doing what they were doing. As Sony said exactly what I said was, we cannot produce enough PlayStation 5s, and that is putting our player base at risk because Microsoft is pumping out Xbox Ones as possibly can and putting their entire supply chain onto that project. Or I should say, Microsoft's putting out as many Xbox Series S's and X's as they possibly can. And if there's no PlayStation 4s and no PlayStation 5s, they are at risk of having their player base savaged because they're going to go over to Xbox One, which is very much a threat to them. It's one of the reasons why they made the decision to create a Game Pass like program, because Game Pass is such a compelling argument
Well, they haven't done that
to
yet.
switch. No, but they're going to. And it is the Game Pass is a compelling argument of, do I want to wait and keep working against the scalpers or pay scalper prices to get myself a PlayStation 5, Or do I want to just go over to this other thing that I can buy not totally easily, but comparatively easier, and have this Game Pass thing that's actually going to end up saving me money? And there is a price difference, isn't there? I can't remember now. There's a price difference between
For
Series S to Series X and PS5.
yeah, I think it's $100. I
Right.
think
So
Series X is 4 and PS5 is 5.
5, right. So it's a cheaper console,
Or
a less
no, I think they're
expensive
both
console.
5.
Are they? See,
Yeah.
I should know this. It's not like
I
I have
should
no
know it
idea.
too. But also Sony has put out a statement, thanks to AC Wraith, I know this, denying that they were ever going to stop production of PS4s at the end of 2021.
Mhm.
So it doesn't mention anything about like the increase of production, but they did specifically say we had no plans to end production of PS4s at the end of 2021.
Mhm. They're the same price. They're $4.99
Okay.
US for both PlayStation 5. But still, it's availability. And we knew that that was going to be an issue when
I still
the
don't
scammers started to really hammer on the product launches, that it was going to be who can get the console on shelves.
Yeah, and I
And
still don't know what the Xbox's deal is. Is that being scalped to the same degree? Is that it's hard to find his stories about PlayStation are?
nowhere near as hard to find. Nowhere near
Okay.
as hard to find. And if you want to pay the scalper prices are much cheaper. The demand is for the PlayStation 5. It's one of the reasons why I'm very, very tempted to take my PlayStation 5, put it back in the box. Actually, I think I may have thrown away the box, but box it up and sell it, because I can sell it for more than what I bought for it. And the Xbox is just fine. It's fine. And I've got a PlayStation 4. I got several. So, I could
Well,
do it.
if you do need the box, I can lend you mine.
Oh, okay.
I have the
Good.
box.
Okay, thank you. I think it's
But
the one time I've thrown away a box for a console. I have all the other console boxes.
yeah, I think I put the PS4 in the PS5 box, which is why I have it.
I've got the PS4 on the shelf on top of the PS3 and the PS2.
Yeah,
I
nice.
have a tower in
You've got a
my
PlayStation
shelves.
sandwich.
I do. It is. They fit in one whole shelf of my bookcase.
Hmm.
Um,
But yeah, also if you're going to be trying to sell a PlayStation on the gray market, be careful, because in Canada, someone was recently robbed at gunpoint trying to sell a PS5 to someone that they had met on social media.
really?
Mm-hmm.
In Canada,
Yes, yes.
not the place where you expect people to be robbed at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Or,
So this is
ask politely in both English and French.
yeah, and so I'm getting this from Game Rant.
Mhm.
And they're reporting it from Global News that two people in Pickering, Ontario, Canada were trying to sell 4 PlayStation 5 consoles to someone that they met through social media. And
Scalpers, scalpers.
yeah, the buyer showed up, threatened them with a gun, robbed all 4 consoles, and drove away with the driver. There was a driver.
Scalpers.
Yeah.
I felt
And
bad for him for a second. No, I don't.
you felt bad because they were specifically selling 4 consoles at once. Right? It's not that they had 4 and they're going to sell 1. They had 4 and they were selling all 4 to a guy.
That's a scalper.
Yes, definitely.
Yep. So I'm sorry I didn't shoot him.
Oh, wow.
I have very little love for scalpers. Yeah, well, I mean, I would obviously not sell it through social media. I would do it legitimately, and I wouldn't do it in a parking lot. I would go to my local. I don't know if
Mhm.
they have it in your neighborhood, but we have I think they're called retail zones or sales zones in front of our police departments.
Oh, I didn't know
That
that.
Yeah, that you can show up and it's part of the parking lot they have reserved off for people to exchange goods from Craigslist to ensure that they're, or, goods, cars, whatever they're selling.
Yeah.
And they do it in the police department parking lot.
Oh, that's
And it's,
actually a good idea.
yeah. Yeah, I have an item that, I mean, it's a musical. Kevin bought a high-ish end full electronic studio drum kit to play rock band on when he was working down in Los Angeles. So he was traveling around with his rock band drum kit in the back of his car. And then he'd set it up in his room, and I had just broken it down, and it's not cheap. It's about $1,000, and I want to sell it because I obviously have no need for a drum kit, and money's money. But I don't. I also don't want to invite somebody over to the house to be in my house when I'm alone, so that they can see that there's all this other gear that's all sitting there, including $20,000 worth of speakers. So I would go elsewhere.
Yeah.
But I don't trust our local police department. They're not exactly well staffed.
Yeah, you'll get robbed in front of the police station.
Yeah, and the police
"Hey,
station will be like,
hi."
"Hey, man, I'm off the clock. I'm not taking
Some guy
chances."
comes out eating a donut going, "Not my problem."
So I've been actually thinking on a Saturday to meet them I'm a member of my local gun club,
Yeah, okay. That's also
and
a
meet
good
them on
idea.
the weekend out at the gun club. Because I guarantee you, A, there's a lot of security, and B, that is not somewhere where you want to beat up somebody in the parking lot.
Yeah,
It kind of gets the point across without getting the point across.
yeah. And
Ah,
I like AC Wraith says, "Wait a minute, you have enough speakers to pay for the chimney."
I have enough speakers to pay for the chimney. I'm not selling the speakers to pay for. Yes, I do have enough speakers to pay for the chimney. Oh, yeah, the chimney. I have not addressed that. I had to put that on hold for a week so that I could get my brain wrapped around it. In case you're wondering, I got a while I was on the show last week, I got finally an estimate for my chimney that needed work, and it came out to $19,600. So, gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do about that.
Also, what's funny is he thought you said sneakers, not
Oh,
speakers.
speakers. No, he has $20,000 as speakers, not sneakers.
$20,000 worth of sneakers.
It's not
That's
actually
a
some of them. That's a lot of sneakers,
that's a
but
lot.
that's also is not as many as you think. There are a lot of sneakers that are worth quite a lot of money. I am not a sneaker king or queen.
Yeah, it's funny. Years ago, I was listening to the Bombcast, and on that, Jeff Gersman for a moment got into like buying limited edition sneakers and talking about how that whole fandom is rife with scalping to a degree that puts the PS5 to shame.
Much of the struggle that we have had to get our hands on PlayStation 5s as gamers can be directly traced back to scalping for sneakers, for
Yeah,
limited edition sneakers. That's
like those
been a
people
thing for
expanded.
years, and that's where they kind of cut those kind of bots. Um, that's where they were developed, was for that market specifically. So they just expanded naturally, as vermin do. Let's see. You had an item. So do I
Oh,
have any other
actually,
items?
I've got a
That's all
perfect
my items.
segue. Well, speaking of police not helping you when you're in trouble, um, a while ago, two members of the LAPD ignored a call on a job in order to catch a Snorlax on
Mhm.
Pokemon Go. And obviously, there was a lawsuit put against them, and just recently, um, they lost that lawsuit, and so they were fired for ignoring a robbery to play Pokemon Go.
Mhm.
Which,
Yeah, I heard about that.
good. Like, yes, you would hope that that's an easy thing. That seems like an obviously fireable offense.
I am not gonna say what's in my head of fireable offenses that have happened and not resulted in
Oh yeah,
anything.
yes.
So yeah.
I mean, it says a lot that they got fired and then they filed a petition seeking to appeal that decision.
Right,
And
right,
this is them losing that appeal.
right.
It's like, we just played Pokemon Go. That's not fireable.
It is if you don't answer a call for because you want to get the Snorlax.
Mm-hmm. And so this is from Kotaku. I guess the appeal also gives a very detailed breakdown of what happened on that day.
Mm-hmm.
So, quote, for approximately 20 minutes, the DICVS captured petitioners discussing Pokemon as they drove to different locations where the virtual creatures appeared on their mobile phones. On their way to the Snorlax location, Officer Mitchell alerted Officer Lozano that a Togetic just popped up, noting it was on Crenshaw just south of 50th. After Mitchell apparently caught the Snorlax, exclaiming, "Got him!" petitioners agreed to, quote, "go get the Toget," and drove off. When their car stopped again, the DVCVS recorded Mitchell saying, "Don't run away, don't run away," while Lorenzo described how he buried it and ultra balled the Toget before announcing, "got him." It it's hilarious that it goes by a step quote. This is what he said. This is what he said. This is what he said.
I'm surprised that there are that many people that are that rabid about Pokemon Go. I mean, I could see it when it first came out. I was a little bit rabid too. I've got pictures of me when I had what did I oh, I had um shingles. Remember I had shingles? Yeah, I had shingles on my face with the big old like scar all down my face where and I had shingles and Pokemon Go had come out and there's a church a block away that has it's a 3 Pokemon stops right there and going out there it was just a bunch of kids sitting on the church kids and adults sitting on the church steps waiting for Pokemon to show up. Yeah, our little town was very much a hotspot for Pokemon because we had, very short walking distance, a matter of 3 or 4 blocks. We had 7 or 8 different Pokemon stops.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's still big. It's less big then. Less big now than it was then, but it's certainly still a huge community.
yeah, Pokemon Go was the Wordle
Excuse me.
of the time for that
Oh,
moment.
I don't think Wordle even compares to Pokemon Go. Even today,
Yeah, point.
those Pokemon people, they're serious about their Pokemon.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, Wordle is showing up on my newsfeed though.
Yeah.
So, anything else? Man, this could be our shortest show ever. We're just an hour and 15 minutes into this and we started late. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Short show.
I didn't have too much to say with the games.
Yeah, with the games and the kids and the pudding pops. No, we
The
don't have any of
games.
this. It seems like to me that it is a bit of a slow news cycle. There's a lot of news about Battlefield 2042, about what a horrible mess that is, about how there's more people playing Battlefield 1 than there are people playing Battlefield 2042 right now. That when it comes to Call of Duty, their Activision is apologizing, like up one side, down the other, that they're promising to fix it, and and actually, there's been some very interesting. I've been kind of following the whole firing of was it Ravenshead?
Oh yeah, for the Activision.
Right, for Activision about how all the QA testers were fired and that all of a sudden now 2042 comes out and it's bad. Not 2042. Call of Duty Vanguard comes out and like kind of proving the point full of bugs and kind of proving the point that QA testers are important.
Yeah, I've actually got a
Not
Warzone
disposable.
story.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, I can. Do you want me to jump into it now?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. People have encountered a glitch where some of the skins for Warzone, at least from the neck down, are invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Like not 100% invisible, but really good Predator style invisibility cloak. Uh, and so what other players see is just a head running around with the body being nearly impossible to see. And
Which is
uh,
awesome.
yeah, it looks cool. It kind of seems like it'd be a cool feature, but this is actually not a feature. It is
No.
100% a bug. Um, they have fixed it for some skins, but after a January 5th update, people have found different skins with the same bug.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is kind of a weird reoccurring thing. Um, and yeah, it's continuing to go on.
Yeah, I'm trying to find evidence, the
Oh yeah,
there we
here,
go.
I can share my screen.
Okay.
That's what the skins look like. Which yeah,
So it's like predator armor.
yeah. And so yeah, the fact that you have this reoccurring glitch in skins that pops up even after you fix it for other skins kind
Mhm.
of is a testament to the importance of QA testing.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
Especially with this, because this really affects gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, it gives you a decisive advantage to say the least.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised given how little import or value that Activision has put into QA testing. And yeah, there's a lot of QA testers that are like, "Hey, you hate this? Do you hate this game and the way it came out and all of the horrific bugs?" Guess who keeps that from happening? This is why QA testers are important. So, I'm sure Activision could care less.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you for the link, AC Wraith, about the Warzone operator skins are now appearing is visible in game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh.
So what do you have anything else? Any other stories? I got
Yes.
nothing.
Wow,
Wow,
this is
look at you bringing the news.
no, this
Just
is
slam dunks.
thanks to Blood Reaper in the chat
Blood
posting
Reaper,
stuff
you are
on
a favorite.
Discord.
Again, if you are interested in joining our Discord, you can. If we ever have something going on that uh, you want us to comment about or make part of the show in the next podcast, clearly go to our Discord server. There is a news tips category. Drop a news tip in there, Nick. I leave it alone because I know Nick is going to scope all the news tips, all the good ones at least. So if you have a good news tip, throw it in there. So what's your next item?
So in the UK, people can sign up to get an email that contains a QR code to get coronavirus tests.
Mm-hmm.
Though recently, they get this email that supposedly has a QR code that will like link you to buy a COVID test. Instead, it opens Plague Inc. And it's not clear why this is going on. I'm getting this from GameBite. Um, and one of the theories is that a code name used by the QR code is shared with Plague Inc. because the people at GameBite were actually able to sign up for this email and get the email themselves, and they were able to confirm that the code is still a valid way to get the kit. So even if the code has its displayed opens Plague Inc., you can also still use the code to get a kit. It's like this QR code is somehow being used for two things at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And it just so happens to open a perfectly appropriate game.
When COVID was discovered in China, I have to look to see because I know it's on my Twitter account. But when COVID was discovered in China, one of the first things I did based on what I was looking at, uh, and the symptoms and everything, was to uh, run a scenario for how long it took um, for the world to essentially be killed by. And I'm trying to find if I can see if I can find my, because I know I made a mention of it in, let's see, that's 2021. Let's see. Yep, let me get there's my Spider-Man Miles Morales that I didn't ever use. June 2020. Okay, 2020 we had plague. There we go. Well, I just did a Wuhan. It was back when it was the Wuhan virus, but I did a Wuhan virus simulation of Plague Inc. It murders the entire planet's population in just under 2 years. So wash your hands. But yeah, that was my Plague Inc.
So technically, we're still in the possible realm for that.
Sure.
We've got a whole other year here.
Right. And I gotta say, now that I played a lot of this game when it first came out, and I still occasionally go back to it. Now that we are looking at a real plague, a real pandemic, a real life version of what Plague Inc. simulates, it is alarmingly accurate how much that game is like the real thing, right down to variants. Okay, variant is spawned. You got enough time, you got enough people infected, you can have a variant now. This variant develops this symptom or this way of spreading. Or you can back off of that variant so it can expect more people and then add more people on. It just it's like living in this game right now. And frequently something will happen with COVID, and I think to myself, good Lord, it's Plague Inc. It's exactly like it was in the game.
The distinct thing I remember about Plague Inc. is that you wanted to have that balance between severity and lethality. That for the beginning, you wanted your disease to be really infectious, but not all that dangerous, because you wanted to infect a lot of people, and then you wanted to flip the switch to become deadly so that you could start killing people. And it's like that. It
kind of like, Omicron, highly infectious. Now they're figuring half of the UK of Europe is now infected with Omicron.
I believe that.
Yeah, I mean, let me pull up. It's been a while since I've looked at this.
And now you just need another little tweak to suddenly make Omicron deadly.
All of a sudden, it just murders everyone. Yep. So, oh God, 30,000 active cases just in
wasn't it the last 20,000 last week?
Yeah, 20,000 last week. And when I stopped doing my podcast on the 28th of December, my daily podcast, it was 3,000. So yeah, I mean, look at that number. Look at that peak. Isn't that big? Look. Good Lord. This was summer. This right here. This was Delta. Oop. Yeah. Let me go back to that. There we go. Yeah. All right. This here was like the Delta surge when everybody was getting sick at a 7-day average of 400 cases a day. What's our current? 2,600 cases per day average in just my county. Then the one other one, we have now 238 people in the hospital when we had 20 at the end of the year. And my one I really like to look at is this one right here, because this is going to tell you where we're at. We're at 21.4% 7-day positivity rate, which means everybody that tested, 21% of them are positive. Keep in mind, though, That does not account for people taking at-home tests that don't independently report them to the county, which hardly anybody reports those to the county. So if you test at positive at an at-home test, you're just not even counted in that number. So the ones that they know about, 1 in 5 tests, more than 1 in 5 tests are positive. And it hasn't peaked at all. Nowhere near the peak. So yeah, also something else to keep in mind right there. Percentage of deaths
Damn.
among the vaccinated.
91%.
91% of deaths have been among the unvaccinated. The rest of them have been on the under vaccinated. So yeah.
Bitter says to name the next variant. I'm gonna say it's Upsilon.
It is. I think it's Omicron. OP. It's not going to be Pi. That's what it should be. Is Pi.
Pi is the one after Omicron.
Right.
Yes.
But it's not going to be Pi.
Yeah, I've actually got a list
skip
of Greek alphabets.
Yeah, they skip. I used to know it off the top of my head. You had to part of the test of being in a sorority. Yeah, Omicron, Pi. They're not going to use Pi for the same reason they didn't use what was before Omicron.
Z,
right, because it's XI, and that's the same last name of Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping, the head president or prime minister, president, I guess, of China. So they didn't want to put his name on it for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So they skipped a couple of letters to get to Omicron. So they're probably going to go to Pi. What is the? Man,
you want to know what the next one is?
Element OP.
There is no Q.
There's no Q. R is what?
Rho.
Right. It's going to be Rho.
Yeah, I say there's going to be a bunch of different variants in between. So when you get Rho, Sigma, Tau, then Upsilon.
Yeah, I mean we'll eventually probably get to Upsilon, but
and then from there there's Phi, Chi, Psi, and Omega is
Chi.
the last.
It's not Chi, it's Chi.
Chi?
Chi.
CHI?
CHI is Chi.
Chi, okay. Phi, Chi, Psi.
Phi, Chi, Psi. And then they'll probably, if we get that far, then it'll probably be Alpha Alpha. Alpha, Beta,
just enter,
Alpha, Delta.
Do a new language. Go to
no, they're probably just add it on. That's normally what they end up doing.
Really?
So that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I still have pleasant game news. We
need the poo. And all of a sudden our internet goes out and we can't get any access, and I don't know why.
No, we're fine. Bitters Plus is just gonna stop responding in the chat.
Yep.
This is the last podcast.
Yep, last podcast. Bitter says name the next variant after me. Bitters? Omicron COVID bitters? No, that sounds like a drink. That sounds like a cocktail.
Oh yeah, COVID bitters. But yes, in better news, the Independent Games Festival Awards has announced its finalists for the 2020 nominations. And the games Unpacking and Inscription lead the way with the most nominations. So there's only a couple categories. Excellence in audio goes to, the nominees are Toem, Unpacking, Jet the Far Shore, Mini Motorways, Sable, and Inscription. All of which are some games that I've all heard great things about, except for Jet the Far Shore. I remember playing that. That game is awful to play. Although
it does sound good.
It does have some good sound.
Good.
Yes, it's just kind of crappy in everything else. Anyways, excellence in design is Inscription, Unpacking, Overboard, Strange Horticulture, Webbed, and Midnight Protocol.
Strange hoarder culture. Have you played this? I haven't even heard of this.
I've not played that. I feel like I've heard someone mention it. I know what Overboard is. Overboard is a kind of visual choose your own adventure murder mystery. Well, you're trying to get away with murder on a cruise ship, and it's made by Inkle, the people who've done 80 Days and other various games like that.
I should have gotten some water.
You want to get one?
Yeah, you talk about the next item.
Okay. Well,
get some water.
Strange horticulture is
horticulture, not hoarder culture.
Oh yes, horticulture.
Horticulture. I'm like looking up strange hoarder culture, and I'm like, that sounds cool.
No, it's apparently an occult puzzle game in which you're trying to identify new plants. I guess you can identify new plants, pet your cat, speak to a coven, or join a cult. Well, that all sounds really fascinating.
That
I'm gonna have
does.
to look into that. Anyway, so that was excellence in design, excellence in narrative. The nominees are Last Call, Neocracy, Closed Hands, Overboard, Inscription, and Unpacking. I know Overboard, Inscription, Unpacking I've all heard of, all of which seem really deserving.
By the way, this is strange horticulture, and it looks like there's no like the menu screen is the game.
Fitness Plus calls it a weed simulator.
Weed simulator. Yeah, I could see this being very relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And then the final, well, excellence in visual art. There's the Eternal Cylinder, Behind the Frame, Perpetua, Fuzz Dragon, The Wild at Heart, and Jet the Far Shore. Most of those I don't know.
You know, you could turn this game into strange hoarder culture and just put in all the different hoarders from the show Hoarders. And then, of course, have the different, morphologies of what's going on with them, like whether it's due to trauma, whether it's due to loss, whether it is a hoard of, dolls or a hoard of guns or a hoard of garbage, because all these hoarders are very, very unique in their way.
Just instead of identifying plants, you're identifying hoarders.
Hoarders. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a mod that you can make for it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So it sounds like a pretty good list of games that I know nothing about.
Yeah. And like what's cool about that list in particular is that it kind of gives you, hey, here's some games you should probably play.
Right.
Like I've seen all of Inscription on playthrough. It looks great. I know Unpacking is on Game Pass, and it also seems great. Strange Horticulture looks cool.
Yeah.
Jet the Far Shore I was interested in, but unfortunately is a beautiful but god awful game. But yeah, that's a nice list of games to check out because generally they're pretty good.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes, this is interesting. Thanks to NVIDIA GeForce Now, people are able to play Fortnite on their iPhone once again. I guess previously you could stream Fortnite to an Android device, but that was basically a desktop version of the game being streamed to a mobile device, obviously. But the new service, the new beta for GeForce Now, is able to stream a mobile optimized version of the game to an iOS device. And so through a little bit of shenanigans, you can get around all of the Epic versus Apple feud and play Fortnite on iPhone.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yes. Although this is just for a beta currently.
Right.
You'd have to sign up for the beta to GeForce Now in order to test this out.
Yeah, they announced, by the way, NVIDIA announced a new graphics card at CES. The next graphics card you won't be able to get your hands on.
Can they even make one? What with all the shortages and stuff?
They said the
That's
CES GeForce card announced.
very
It is
optimistic of
the
them.
GeForce RTX 3050.
Oh, 3050. That's the new numbers.
The new numbers of things that you cannot touch. It says today we revealed the GeForce RTX 3050, bringing the performance and efficiency of the NVIDIA Ampere architecture to more gamers than ever before. You didn't bring it to that many gamers to start with because you brought it to the scalpers, but not to the gamers. Let's see. They kept equipped with second generation RT cores for ray tracing, third generation tensor cores for DLSS and AI, and 8 gigs of GDDR6. So yeah. The next batch of cards that you won't be able to find for the next 5 years.
Okay, so they basically put a 3 instead of a 10. It's 3080 instead of 1080. It's 3070 instead of 1070, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And these are apparently supposed to come out January 27th.
Is there a date on this? I don't see the date. They're supposedly starting 3070 Ti. Oh, that's the laptops. That's the GPU.
Yeah, it says the entry level GPU, the RTX 3050, arrives roughly a week after AMD's new card on January 27th.
Okay.
Like I said, that is awfully optimistic.
Yeah, to say the least. Let's see, the 3050 is the graphics card. It starts at $249.
Oh yeah, I think it goes up to
Yeah,
like
right.
1500.
Yeah, that's how much the scalpers are going to pay you for it. And it's January 27th is when the new graphics card comes out. When the new graphics card gets taken hand over fist by scalpers who will be selling it to crypto miners. At this point, I kind of sort of want to build myself a new computer, like a PC. It's, like getting me that time that I should build a new one. And I don't have the heart for it. Just seeing what other people had to do and how much they had to pay over market to get their hands on even the most basic stuff. I can't bring myself to do it. It just
might
takes all the
actually
joy.
be a legit option to buy a Steam Deck and then just get some sort of
Assuming you can get a Steam Deck.
dock.
Assuming you can even get a Steam Deck.
True. Because they're
You're just better off at this point just going to the store and buying a computer or buying a whole computer directly from NVIDIA, like one of their computers. Because you just can't get your hands on anything.
Yeah.
AC Ray says ED on PC, actual PC, Warframe with me on PC. Yeah, in theory. That's a theory. Bitter says use your gangsta skills and gank one. Yeah, I don't have that kind of skills.
We've seen there's proof that you can rob the scalpers. We've seen it happen.
True.
The Canadians have proven
have to
this
find
to be a
somebody who
viable
wants
alternative.
to sell me 4 graphics cards and then rob them. And make sure to do it at the Richmond Police Department because those guys don't give a shit. They do not give a shit. So, anything else?
Yes, the last one is not game related, but Blood Reaper put it in the Discord, and I think it's really awesome. Squid Game made history by being the first non-English language series nominated for a Screen Actors Guild Award. And I think that's cool because Squid Game was really, really great. And it's nice to see, this single season good show, like to see a show that was risky and weird and like not really like not the obvious idea for mainstream success to blow up and become a mainstream success.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody involved in the production of that, whether it be the actors to the directors to anybody, producers, had a clue that that was going to become such a
No,
thing.
I highly doubt it.
God, talk about feeling like you might have the tiger by the tail. I saw, who was it? I think it was Stephen Colbert having an interview with the main actor in the Squid Games, with the lead actor. And of course, he doesn't speak English. And it was just kind of a weird, awkward thing. But you could tell, like, that the fact that he's on Stephen Colbert in the United States promoting his show,
Yeah.
you could see that it's a bit of like, I'm very overwhelmed by all of this.
I can totally believe that. Yeah. But also, AC Wraith made a very good point. Just invite the scalpers to stand under the chimney.
There you go. I could kill two birds with one stone. Literally. Yeah, there has been, I need to get this thing fixed, but there's only so much, like, it's not going to be fixed. Even if I handed them a $20,000 check tomorrow, it would not get fixed tomorrow. It's going to take quite a long time. And every minute, every second, it's getting 1 second closer to that thing collapsing. And my neighbor kind of said, tongue in cheek, it's like, well, you could always let the thing fall and then it's part of your homeowner's insurance. It's like, that is not the way I want to handle it. I mean, if I have to, if it collapses and damages everything in my next door neighbor's house, yeah, absolutely. We'll take care of that. I will do that. But I would prefer it not. So there we go. Yeah, that's right. Lee Jung-jae and Stephen Colbert sent Leonardo DiCaprio a selfie. Because Lee Jung-jae happened to have Leonardo DiCaprio's phone number in his phone because I forgot. Leonardo DiCaprio wanted to take a selfie with Lee Jung-jae, and when he did, he took it with Lee Jung-jae's phone, and so Leonardo DiCaprio was like, "Give me your phone number, send it to me.
Oh,
Here's my
yeah,
phone number." So he's like, "Oh, I got," he mentioned kind of in passing, he took a selfie with Leonardo DiCaprio, which was kind of like a pinch me moment. And he's like, "Did you have his phone number?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do." And he goes, "Let's send him a selfie." So they did. They sent him a selfie. It is very funny.
I remember, this is completely off of games now. We'll just completely
Oh yeah, no, we're
tangent. I was reading something the other day and I thought it was funny. So the new movie on Netflix, Don't Look Up, that has Leonardo DiCaprio in it.
Right, Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah. Good movie. I think people should see it. I really
still have to see. I want to see it.
But who the other guy that's in it is Jonah Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading something that Jonah Hill, because the stereotypes of this is flipped, that Leonardo DiCaprio was trying to get Jonah Hill to watch The Mandalorian, the Star Wars show on Disney Plus. And for initially, Jonah Hill was reluctant because he's like, if it doesn't take place in the real world, I'm just not that interested in it. And he's like, yeah, I watched a couple episodes of Mandalorian, and yeah, it's okay, but it's a fantasy, and I just couldn't get into it. And I just feel like the stereotype image you have in your head of Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill, you would think it's the other way around.
Yeah.
But no. I just thought that was kind of an entertaining anecdote.
Yeah, you think of Jonah Hill as being kind of the nerd. That would be somebody who's into it.
Yeah. And he's the one that's like, oh, if it's not real, I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't do cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Loser.
AC Wraith just able to pick links up out of.
I know he's good. He's really good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
So what you gonna play this week?
Dark Pictures anthology game.
Mhm.
That's for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna do that tonight. Do we want to pick a time so that way we can let people know where and when we're gonna be playing it?
Sure. What's a good time?
Well, it's almost 4 o'clock, so let's make it. Yeah, I've already walked the dogs. I got leftovers for food, or I can order out. What's a good time for you? I'll take any time.
Any time, like 8?
8's awful
Where's
late.
8? Okay, how about
6.
6?
Let's go
Cool.
6. We'll
6
have
it is.
pizza and macagoli. And yeah, we'll play
So,
that
yeah.
together. So, and we'll be over on Twitch. Our Twitch, if you're not aware, our Twitch channel is the GameHounds over on Twitch. So join us there, and we will be doing that at 6 o'clock tonight, Sunday. At 6 o'clock Pacific, that would be 9 o'clock Eastern, and that is why I didn't want to do it at 8.
Okay.
Twitch. So let's see. What is it we're playing? The Dark
Pictures Anthology. There's 3 games in there that we could choose from.
Mhm.
Other than that, I'd like to finally start playing the Halo Infinite campaign. I keep wanting to, but kind of never quite hit and go on that. But I would like to finally this week, if I'm not distracted by Far Cry or any of the other number of things.
Mhm. Yeah, I want to pick back up on what's the word I want? Persona 5 Strikers. I did play a little bit of it this week, but it wasn't anything different. I've headed into the second area, and I haven't moved the story much since then. I'm watching a new K drama that most of the K dramas you wouldn't like. No, they're not. They're not your kind of.
What's funny is
kinda
I
show.
started watching another K drama too.
What you started watching?
I started watching one called The Silent Sea. It's a
Yes.
sci-fi show. And it's obviously on Netflix. It's meh.
Yeah, I'm watching
wouldn't
one
recommend it.
called Bulgasal,
Oh, yeah,
Immortal
they recommended
Souls.
that for me.
Yeah,
Netflix did. That looked cool.
it's so far. I'm what 3 episodes in or 4 episodes in. It's very cool.
Okay.
I tend to go for the heartfelt, quirky drama slash dramedies. I go for the quirky dramedies, which is exactly what I need right now. And so I just got finished up with It's Okay to Not Be Okay, which is very good. But as typical of them, they drag it out for probably 4 episodes longer by just showing you like scenes where they almost kiss in previous episodes for, a good 3 minutes. It gets a lot of padding, but it's a really good show.
I
Also,
know.
huge shout out to I can't remember the name of the actor who plays there's a main brother, of course, who's the good looking one. There's the main female protagonist who is cold and fucked up and gorgeous, and of course they get together. That's shouldn't be a surprise. But then the male protagonist, has a older brother who is on the autism spectrum, and that actor does such a good job of playing someone with autism in a respectful, the whole show, very respectful, very interesting take on being the caregiver of a older brother who is autistic, and he's a bit of a art savant, so he's got other things where he has a lot of the characteristics that have become prototypical within autism, but just really interesting show.
I know. I saw Polygon had a top 10 list of the best action scenes of 2021. And there's a lot of martial arts movies on that list that I want to go check out because of that.
Yep. Bitter says Asian dramedy is so good. It is. They do a really good job. It's hard to make me laugh out loud about stuff, and granted, it helps to have a little liquor in you, but I have laughed out loud at stuff because of just they're very good at creating absurd situations, usually involving nudity or poop.
Those are the complete opposite ends of the spectrum there. You're
Oh
like,
no, sometimes it is exactly the same where somebody runs out of toilet
mm,
paper and then ends up using his pants, or then something happens and all of a sudden he's got poop on his pants, so he can't put his pants back on, so he's got to run through something naked because he's got no and
you're,
unwiped.
you're like nudity, and I'm thinking, ooh, okay, tell me more. And then
There's
poop. Oh no,
Yeah,
no, don't tell
another
me more.
really funny one is case in point is a lot of poop and pee jokes and nudity jokes is what is the name of it? It's about a webtoon, a guy who wants to become a webtoon artist. And it's a terrible it's a name that I'm sure makes a lot of sense in Korean. It does not make a lot of sense. K Kor- Korean show webtoon artist comedy. An incredibly fucked up family. The Sound of Heart. That's it.
Hmm.
The Sound of Your Heart, which sounds like it's a total romance story. It is not. And it is very, very funny.
Is it on Netflix?
It is on Netflix. Yeah, young guy wants to be a webtoon artist. He's he's a weirdo, but his family are extreme weirdos, and it's pretty funny. It's also a lot of like cultural jokes that sort of go over your head, so you have to kind of research them, then you realize how funny they are. But yeah, it's a fairly good show. I can
Okay,
recommend.
I'll have to check that out.
If you want a night of just watching people doing incredibly stupid things.
I mean, this is not new. I started back into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure a while ago while working on that clock model up there. And goddamn, JoJo is just as fucking weird as ever. Like, if the last season was these weirdos going on a road trip across the globe and fighting
Uh-huh.
people with powers, part 4 is a school drama where you're finding people with powers. And so it's just like, yeah, this random guy, this random classmate, oh, this girl I like, oh, she's someone with powers and I have to fight her. Oh, they spend a whole episode, multiple episodes, chasing down rats with superpowers. And it's one of the more like visually disturbing episodes because these rats don't give a shit about people. So
So,
yeah, that's weird.
Bitters recommends a series called the My Wife is a Gangster series, and I'm reading about it right now. It does not look like a comedy. It
My wife
looks
is
like it's just a serious show. But yeah, it says it's a Korean drama, a Korean film about a female gang boss who must wed to fulfill her dying sister's wishes.
I feel like I've vaguely heard of this before. Maybe there is like a good action scene in it or something like that.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I would you would absolutely love Bugs Bugslal Bugalsal
Oh,
Immortal Soul.
yeah.
Yeah, you would like it a lot.
Okay. I'm almost done
Bitter
with
says it is funny.
Silent Sea.
That the Why My Wife is a Gangster is funny. I
Okay.
can see it.
There was
Like the
one
way of the house husband.
oh yeah. Did you see there's a live action version on Netflix? Yeah.
I've watched them. The
Okay.
anime is good. They're both good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know there was this was years ago. I saw a really good like action comedy Korean movie on Netflix and it was oh, it's about this average dude who switches like his subway locker with an assassin and like the mishaps that occur from there. And it was like key something, lock something, not lock and key.
Yeah, Lock and Key which has new episodes, by the way. Yeah, there's season
Yeah,
2.
I saw season. I watched 8 out of the 9 episodes of season 2 and just can't bring myself to watch the last one because it's
Lock and Key was always a little It was more high
the
concept as opposed to
the
high story.
the comic, the graphic novel is still fantastic. The first season of the show pretty much burns through all the comic material. And so season
Oh.
2 has been like all stretching it out, and it kind of feels that way.
In the way that season 5 or whatever, last season of Game of Thrones was like, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because all the books, when they were following the books, it was solid because they were books and they were like worked on and put together, and that's why they were good. And then they started kind of having to go off book topic, and it started to fall apart.
And the movie that I was thinking about is Lucky. It's LUCK-KEY. So luck/key.
Key.
And I don't think is it still on Netflix? I think it might actually still be on Netflix. But anyways, that's like yes, it is available on Netflix in the United States. Like
Good.
that is a fun action comedy movie. If you're just looking for something goofy.
Always looking for a good fun action comedy that's slightly goofy.
Yeah, Lucky, I highly recommend it.
Okay. If Folk Skull doesn't like speed up a little bit, you love it. It's full on horror, horror suspense, which is great, but you don't always want horror suspense.
Yeah, there are
AC
times.
Wraith also says it's free on Tubi.
Oh, cool. I remember I watched something on Tubi just the other week, and I was angry because they had commercial interruptions.
I know. I'm getting
it was the only place to stream it. Shit, now I can't even remember what it is.
All right, so should we shut down the show and to remind everyone that again that we will be playing Dark Pictures Anthology, one of the games of the Dark Pictures Anthology, sometime tonight on Twitch, 6 p.m. tonight. Twitch.com. If you will go to Twitch, we are the GameHounds on Twitch. Please feel free to join us at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And will we be drinking? Hell yeah. Because we don't have to go to work tomorrow. Yay, us.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only reason why I'd be drinking on a Sunday night like that. I'm not gonna get myself drunk. I've already done that once this weekend. There's only so many times I can do that before my body starts to break down. You are COVID free so far, right?
Yes, as far as I know.
I am COVID free. I told you my brother came down with COVID.
Yeah.
Idiot brother.
How's he doing?
Well, he's not in the hospital, never had to be hospitalized. It's clear that he's still sick. But of course, he's, so anti-vax that he's not going to tell me how sick he is.
Yeah. Well, like that's the dangerous part is he is anti-vax, which means there's a good chance that he could end up in the hospital. But if he hasn't yet, that's probably a good sign.
Probably a very good thing. But he's definitely got, I wouldn't call it long haul COVID, but I would definitely say medium haul COVID. When he answers the phone, I can hear it in his voice. He has said that the brain fog is very much a thing. Like he's having a conversation with someone and all of a sudden his brain just stops working. Like he cannot function. And then he'll be out, doing some work in the backyard or doing something. And all of a sudden this wave of fatigue will just hit him. And it'd be like, he has to go sit down and go inside and take a nap because it's not like I'm starting to get tired thing. It's I'm working fine. And now I'm exhausted. It's instantaneous. It just hits you with these waves of fatigue. And this has been what is the date today?
The 16th?
January 16th. So it's been almost 15 days, almost 2 weeks since
Yeah.
he originally became symptomatic. So, but he's told me that he's taken ivermectin and 3 hours later feels so much better,
Well,
which says,
good for him.
hey, the placebo effect is real
Yeah.
and he's 100% worm free.
Well, good. Look, you don't want COVID and worms. That's just really asking for trouble.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, AC Ray says, finally get your booster on Tuesday. Good. I was going over we have fairly regular webinars with our chief medical officer, who is so good. Holy crap, that guy is good. He just knows fucking everything. And it's
For
for
your company?
clinicians, for my company.
Okay.
And it's it's set up for clinicians, but he's fully aware that non-clinicians are watching. So he does make an effort to speak to the clinicians on a professional level with all their 3-letter acronyms, and also at the same time to like explain what he needs to kind of make it accessible to non-clinical people in the company. And the predominant amount of um, studies that they are doing as fast as possible across the world about this Omicron variant is that the key is that booster. It takes whatever immunity that you have had because of the actual vaccines, the first or the second vaccine, and it just amps it up to like closer to 80% of resistance. So that's a really and almost 100, like almost 100% of keeping you out of the hospital. And that's ultimately what we care about at this point, because it looks like everybody in the world is going to have COVID at some point. The question is it the deadly COVID? Is it the not quite so deadly COVID? And how you're already laying the groundwork to keep yourself out of the hospital. So just because a matter of, are we going to overload our hospitals to the point that our hospital infrastructure falls apart and that people show up after having a car accident and can't be admitted because there's no beds? That would be a disaster, a functional disaster of your medical system. And that's what they're trying to prevent at this point, because they can't prevent infection. There's not enough people going out and getting vaccinated. So be one of those ones that don't become a statistic. Get yourself a booster so that even if you catch it, you don't end up in the hospital, so that you can be part of the problem. So that you can actually save a baby's life that's coming in with some kind of horrible disease that needs to be seen. And if you're taking up a bed, then that baby's not going to get seen and may die. That's what it comes down to. All right. So, anything else? I don't have anything. I haven't had anything for the last hour. It's been all you, Nick.
I mean, you brought plenty of K-dramas to the table.
I always can do that. That's never a problem for me. All right. So let me remind you how to find us. First off, thank you so much for listening to GameHounds episode 624. We did record this on Sunday, January 16th, 2022. I've been Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick DiNicola. There are ways to get a hold of us. You absolutely can. First off, there is our website. It is gamehounds.net. That's our website. Gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We are a listener-supported show. Very, very much so, especially now that we're going to have to redo all of our audio because they've ended our formerly very, very affordable audio plan. So please, if you can, like and subscribe. Hit the like button right now if you are watching on either Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, subscribe to us. If you're watching us on Facebook, give us a thumbs up. If you are watching us, or give us a like. If you're watching us on YouTube, especially, give us a thumbs up. It really very much does make a difference in getting us new listeners. And we are, like I said, user supported. Patreon.com/GameHounds. We do not ask for a lot. We ask for $1 a month. $1 a month is all we ask to help support this show. We don't have a lot of you out there, but what we have of you, we would love to have you as part of the rest of the group. $1 a month on Patreon, patreon.com/GameHounds. We do have, I've mentioned the Discord. There is our Discord server. Please go to our Discord server. Join us. We would love to have you there. Our Discord not only has, weird supermarket finds. Thank you very much, Blood Reaper, for providing some horrible examples of our palate here in the United States. But we also have a tip line. Talk with us, chat with each other, whatever. But there's also, like I said, the news tip line. If there's some kind of news that you want us to bring up next week, put it in that news section. Nick pulls almost exclusively out of there. He cheats.
No, I can bring a lot of stuff of my
You
own.
do. You do bring a lot of stuff on your own, but he also very regularly checks that. So if it's mentioned there, chances are it's probably going to get mentioned on the show.
Also, AC Wraith mentions that the Twitter hasn't been updated since December. Probably because of the Spreaker issue.
Right. We probably need to renew the lease on that. So I will do that when I'm off the show. But again, don't forget that we have twitch.tv/the GameHounds. I said twitch.com. It's twitch.tv/the GameHounds. That's where you can find us at 6:00 tonight watching Dark Pictures Anthology, or playing the Dark Pictures Anthology together. And also you can join us next week here on YouTube's The GameHounds. We do this show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully next week we'll have our Spreaker feed back up, although it may be in a slightly different place if you go to iTunes or iHeartRadio or anything else, but certainly iTunes. We do this show live on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitch. Facebook and Twitch, we are The GameHounds. YouTube, we are GameHounds Vids. That's VIDS, as in videos. Feel free to join us.
Also, one thing I just want to shout out. AC Wraith in the Discord, in What You've Been Playing, has been chronicling his Mass Effect playthroughs. And it's really interesting to see his opinion of the trilogy after playing them after Andromeda, because he says that after beating 2, Andromeda is still his favorite.
I'm really Andromeda is your favorite.
At least he says that he liked Andromeda better
than 2. I'm trying to think of 2. 2 is the
2
one.
is the one with the suicide mission.
Oh God, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, really. 1 was the best. 1 was by far the best. Loved
I think 1 definitely had the best story.
Yeah, 1 had the best story, had the best characters, had the best. Yeah, just was overall best written, of course. AC Ray says better attachments. Really? I don't know. I just hope that they are they working on another Mass Effect? Did they decided that that's
it? They are. No, they announced 1, but it's a long ways off.
And Blood Reaper reminded me it's called gross supermarket foods. And Blood Reaper works at a supermarket, so he finds all the gross supermarket foods. I went to 99 Ranch yesterday.
What's that?
99 Ranch, the Asian supermarket chain.
Okay.
Never been to 99 Ranch?
Never heard of it.
Look, there's a 99 Ranch near you. Look it up. There's a 99 Ranch near you. It is there's some crazy shit there by our standards in the United States. Because it is an all Asian supermarket. So everything from Thai to Korea. But mostly Chinese, a lot of Filipino foods, mostly Chinese though. And yeah, some pretty crazy, especially in the meat product.
Okay, it looks like the closest one to me is in Dublin.
Yeah. Pig ovaries. That was fun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They eat it all. They you can buy it all. There were parts of pigs that I didn't even know what they were. some innard that I didn't know. It's like, oh, it's liver. Oh, they call it something else. I can't remember what it's called, but it was like, what's that?
Oh, they've got Kit Kat flavors.
Yeah, if all the Kit Kat flavors, they do, but they don't have the Korean. What was it, Milk Star? Milk Soft. It's the milkshakes in the packets. Have you ever had those? I'm gonna look it up. Hold on a second. So Korea has Korean milk shake in tube in a bag. There we go. Yeah, these things right here. Stand by. I need to put it in the right tab. Here we go.
I'm just interested in the Kit Kats.
These things right here.
Oh, okay.
They're milkshakes. Snow ice. That's it. Snow ice. They're milkshakes in a bag. And they are goddamn delicious. Oh my God. So good.
They come in the bag that astronauts drink liquid out of.
Yes. It's a bit like, they come and you get them out of the freezer frozen, and then you have to kind of squish them until they get soft, and then you can squeeze them into your mouth. Oh, so good. So good. Just fantastic stuff. There's a place in if you go to, we should do that one night. Let's go to a Korean barbecue. Have you ever had Korean barbecue?
Oh
Bulgogi?
yeah.
Yeah.
Korean barbecue's fantastic.
Oh, fan-freaking-tastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
but the local, like, there's this one really big Korean barbecue place up in Oakland that is apparently like the hands down best Korean barbecue in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And they sell those, and they're like $3 and just goddamn delicious. Let's see, where are they? There we go. These things. So good. So good. But they don't have those at 99 Ranch, which I wish they did, because if they did, God, it would be very dangerous. Let's see. I still AC Ray says I still want to have some legendary Korean barbecue. Nothing around me that I know of. Oh, Korean barbecue is the shit. The shit. Bulgogi. Oh, so good. So good. Oh my God. And Bitter says ovaries, ew. I'm assuming that you're talking about pigs' ovaries to eat, and not in general all ovaries, ew.
No, in general, ovaries that bad. No.
Yeah. Blood Reaper says you can change it to Weird Superman. No, gross supermarket finds will work. Even though I know that might be classist. But
I mean, also some of the stuff he shows just looks great, delicious.
Really? Like what?
Oh, some of the things he showed would look good.
I am opening Discord as we speak. Going into our Discord channel to look at this gross supermarket finds for this week. Let's see, where are we? GameHounds.
There's what pineapple Mike's Hard lemonade.
Ooh, that
good.
sounds
Also,
delicious.
I'm like scrolling way back.
All right, we're adding that to the stream. So what is this? KJ says I got ripped. Please tell me that that's not a breakfast sandwich. That looks like sausage.
No, the thing that in KJ, that's a thing from Squid Game. Oh no, that. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that looks.
You're way in the past. What
Oh,
date
I
is
am?
that?
Oh.
What date was that say?
That was July of 2021.
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, we've done let's see, what's this monster? White pineapple? I would absolutely drink white pineapple, but I drink pineapple anything. Oh, that's gross. Eggo?
Oh yeah, Eggo Pop-Tarts.
Eggo Pop-Tarts?
Yeah.
Gross. Cheetos mac and cheese. Flamin' hot mac and cheese.
Anything flaming hot is like literally from the depths of hell. Anything flaming hot is just awful. I don't understand how people enjoy flaming hot Cheetos.
What is this picture? Swap meat nightmare fuel. I can see it. Just to put your feet under a tarp. Chuck E. Cheese. Why would you freeze Chuck E. Cheese pizza? Have any of you actually tasted Chuck E. Cheese pizza? It is notoriously disgusting.
Never have.
I oh my God, disgusting.
Wasn't Chuck E. Cheese a place that had one of those like
we still have a
big
Chuck E. Cheese down the street
indoor mazes, jungle gym things? Okay,
with the
there was
giant
never.
mechanized rats.
See, there was never a Chuck E. Cheese near me, but I went to a place called Discovery Zone, which was just
Mhm.
like big maze with tunnels and ball pits that kids could run around in, and I loved that.
That's gross.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's disgusting.
yeah,
Smart
Crunchberry
food
popcorn.
with crunch berries. Ugh, gross. There's nothing wrong with milk chocolate orange sticks. I will fight you for
orange
that.
sticks.
Oh,
Classic.
orange sticks are delicious.
Yeah, the classic
Yeah.
treat.
Chocolate orange is good stuff. No
Bitter says
complaints
he would
there.
try the Eggo Pop-Tarts.
Tell me all. I almost want to buy some of that stuff and ship this out to you so we could get
I've just eaten Eggo.
Yeah, honestly. What is this? Gingerbread snapped Mountain Dew. Oh, gross.
Gingerbread shouldn't be in liquid form. Gingerbread is good. Like gingerbread cookies. Good. No? You don't like gingerbread?
I love gingerbread. I love
Okay.
ginger. I love bread. I love gingerbread. Gingerbread Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Gingerbread doesn't feel like it would go with bubbles.
No. Doesn't go with Mountain Dew. Doesn't go with hardly anything except vodka. Philadelphia cream cheese, pumpkin spice.
No.
Man. I think, are we over the pumpkin spice thing now? Like where we can get pumpkin spice motor oil and stuff.
I know there's more pumpkin spice things here because this is going back into October. Because the pumpkin eggnog, I would try.
I'd give that a shot. I can see that. I mean, most of the spices and stuff that you have in eggnog are the spices, same exact spices you put in a pumpkin pie. So I can see it.
Bitters also says he would try the gingerbread Mountain Dew.
Is there anything disgusting?
Is there anything you wouldn't try?
We are changing your name to the urinal. Just dump everything into it. It'll take it. Gross. Marshmallow pumpkin and marshmallow monster. What flavor is marshmallow monster?
Ginger.
See, mountain trash apple. See, Mountain Dew apple, I can sort of see. That's certainly acceptable. Pineapple, Mike's hard pineapple, absolutely would drink that any day of the week. Oh, gross. Oh, God.
Pumpkin spice ranch. I mean, ranch itself is not good.
Oh, are you kidding? I would take ranch IVs, like good ranch. Hidden Valley Ranch has not been good in a lot of years.
No, ranch is
really good ranch dressing.
No.
Absolutely.
Ranch is the worst of the dressings.
Drink it like by the cup.
Oh my God.
I love that stuff. I have been known to get like with really good ranch, one of those cups and just eat it like
No.
Aha. Watermelon. Yeah, lime watermelon. Yeah. I mean, aha is actually really popular in Asian countries. So yeah, that's perfectly acceptable and it's probably goddamn delicious.
Ranch chips? That's AC Ray says she likes ranch chips, but not the dressing.
Oh, I could
ranch chips. I don't get you ranch people. Are you ranch?
So they're selling the best part of it's Lucky Charms, but it's just the marshmallows.
Okay. Yeah. I'll take it.
Let's see.
those
How to
those
drink
nice.
drinks from Skyrim. Oh, we may have to do that tonight.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I couldn't do that because I don't have. So for my birthday, one of the things my parents gave me is a cocktail making kit.
Oh, good, good. Everybody should have like a shaker and the
Hmm.
measuring cup and the turner and
Yep,
yeah,
all
good.
all the stuff.
Hmm.
And so for Christmas, an uncle gave me a book of like D&D inspired cocktails. So now I'll have to make some of those and some Skyrim drinks.
All right, I am going to look at this YouTube video and I will share it with you of the Skyrim drinks to see.
Yeah.
Generally speaking,
Because the problem with a lot of these drink videos, I've seen a weird number of them, is like they all require some special ingredient that I don't have lying around.
cognac, mead, antic formula vermouth,
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, I don't
cinnamon
have that.
syrup, Benedictine. Yeah, this is just a little over the top.
Yeah, like I assume it probably tastes good,
Yeah.
but I don't have the equipment for it.
Lavender syrup. Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
get it. I understand.
I'm with bitters. I want some real life Skyrim skooma.
Skooma. Yeah, no skooma. Cliff Racer, Velvet LaChance, White
I'll,
Gold
I'll
Tower.
bet you
Those,
I'll
yeah.
bet you if you type skooma like skooma recipe into YouTube, you could get something good.
I'm doing it as we speak. Skooma. Recipe. Well, it's probably just going to be the recipe in. Oh, there we go. Elder Scrolls Cookbook, Skooma.
Oh, is that just the in-game recipe?
Uh, uh,
That looks like the in-game recipe.
maybe. Let's see. No, it's not.
Oh, oh, awesome.
Yeah, no, it's somebody making skooma. Looks like it's a. Let's see what they're making. Okay, skooma. Oh, she's making it from the Skyrim cookbook.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like it's hot water and
Carrots?
no, those are apricots.
Oh,
Pour water into a cup. How much? Looks like probably 1 cup. It's looks like half a cup. And then
sugar.
sugar.
What does it look like at the end? Like, does it actually come out looking good? Looks really watery.
No, looks fine to me. Let's see. So once we got the sugar in there, putting a lot of sugar in there, a whole lot of sugar in there. And then, oh, I see. Okay, so we're dissolving it because it needs to be hot in order. So we're making a simple syrup. That's what she's doing. 2 containers.
Yeah,
One of
Bitters
them
is
goes.
right. Where's the psychotropics?
Yeah, well, maybe. So it looks like we're going in for the simple syrup and water. They're reducing the simple syrup down in that one. And then throwing in the chopped apricots. And then throwing in what?
Spice? Some sort
A
of
spice. It looks like possibly nutmeg. Then some vanilla. Possibly a little cinnamon. Giving it a stir. And then covering it. I really wish there were annotations. Oh, we can turn on the closed captioning.
Oh, huh.
That looks like vodka. Oh, 3 weeks.
3 weeks? They wait 3 weeks?
Yeah. Or maybe she mixed it with vodka. Two similar size containers. Split the recipe in 2 between them. Seemed to have worked out. let's see. So we've got that recipe. We didn't have containers large enough for an entire batch of skooma. So we chose to use 2 similar sized containers. It's got to be vodka that they're putting it in there, and it's just infusing the vodka with it. So that's what that looks like. Yep, there we go. Somebody else that did skooma in the real world.
Yeah.
Oh, cardamom orange, it looks like.
I've also seen a lot of videos of people making Estus flasks cocktails from Dark Souls.
Okay, so vodka, cardamom, vanilla, apricots, and the most critical part, sugar.
Sugar.
Spelled wrong. And he's cutting it into a line.
Oh, no, Shepard.
All right. So we're not going to be making any of that. Have you ever seen gosh, I know the show is like long over, but since we're talking about stuff, did you know that Binging with Babish, familiar with the show?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
He is one of the, in fact, not if not the biggest cooking show on YouTube.
No.
He really got his underway, his whole show underway when he started doing recipes from shows, like when some like this Matt Getty and Spagballs from American Dad.
Oh.
Let's see what else. Krabby Supreme from SpongeBob SquarePants. So essentially, he does the recipe as it's supposedly done in the show, and then in
Panda, Airbender.
Yeah, Last Airbender Fireflakes, secret ingredient soup from Kung Fu Panda, Chef's Choice platter from Monster Hunter World, Jake's perfect sandwich from Adventure Time, stuff like that. So one of the things he did was he did Skyrim, and he makes sweet rolls from Skyrim, and he makes a basic sweet roll recipe, but makes it, like correctly sized for humans, but and he tries to keep it as close to what it looks like in Skyrim. However, we all know, and he makes a point of mentioning, that in Skyrim, the sweet rolls are big. Like, this is normal size, but it's not actual Skyrim sized. Skyrim sized sweet rolls are huge. And he does these, or he actually improves upon it. He does 2 different methods, but then he makes, there we go, an actual Skyrim sized sweet roll.
Huh. Why is the Skyrim sweet roll so big?
Because in Skyrim, that's what the size they are in Skyrim. They're gigantic.
Yeah. Jesus.
So yeah. And I just remember thinking that, man, I would love to do that. Makes bear stew from Red Dead Redemption.
Okay, I'll have to check him out.
Yeah, no, and he's really, really, really good. He has a number of shows, not just the television themed stuff, but also, there's a reason why his channel is called the Babish Culinary Universe, because it has completely branched off in multiple things. To basics with Babish. If you don't know how to cook, he will walk you through how to cook some very basic stuff, and then as you go through it, it gets much more interesting, much more difficult and challenging and delicious, of course. Basics with Babish: how to make a jalapeno popper mac and cheese, how to make tamales, Yorkshire puddings, and then of course, other cool stuff. And he'd actually, the whole concept of Basics with Babish is he introduces the video, you see it, and then later on that same week, he will do a live show cooking that same thing with you so everybody can all make it together. And if something's not right, you can ask a question while he's doing it. But he's, he's got 9 million subscribers. He is a monster on this. But he's funny and interesting, and I'm not making a Skyrim. I'm not
Cocktail.
making a Skyrim cocktail. No, we're just
Yeah.
drinking normal stuff.
Too much work.
All right. So yeah, 6:00. So it's an hour and a half from now. We will be doing it on Twitch, twitch.tv/the GameHounds. And we will absolutely be part of that. Thank you for the link to Babish Culinary Universe. Can't support that guy enough. Great guy, totally funny, and does a good job.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Does
go
a good job
subscribe
with his
to him.
recipes.
See
Right.
what comes out.
And again, don't forget we've got Dark Pictures Anthologies playing tonight at what time is it? 6:00 Pacific.
Mhm. Yes.
At 6:00 Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern on, and that's a lie. It's not twitch.com/the GameHounds. It's twitch.tv/the GameHounds. All right, Nick. Everybody, thank you in the chat room if you've been sticking around so much. We will be back next week, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, here on Spreaker on Sunday, or here on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook. And we will hopefully be back on Spreaker next week after I do a lot of shenanigans that are annoying, but we'll all do it. Have a good week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.